Hey guys, it's James from Sugabyte. Just a real quick video just to show you the new UI changes in SugarCRM's latest release, which is version 10. Now this is available for Pro, Ent, Sell and Serve. If you're hosted with SugarCRM, you probably received this update this week. If you're hosted on site or with a partner, then you'll be receiving this update very soon as well. Couple of really interesting things going on with the UI. And one setting in particular you might want to consider turning off. Let's take a look at a record view, because this is where we're going to see the biggest change to the UI. What we see now is the field label and the value being displayed side by side, whereas in previous versions you had the label above and the value below. One downside to this is that any field labels that contains a certain number of characters is going to be cut off in order to fit in the space that we have here. But this is SugarCRM's attempt to consolidate the view, make it a little bit easier to read and display a certain number of fields on a layout. Another change is this concept of what SugarCRM call a pill. So this is the pill view where a field is empty, which I actually really like. It now makes it a lot clearer to see when a certain field is empty. So if I just save that one, I've now got a clearer view of what information is missing. So I do like that a lot. But if you're not quite content with this new layout of having the label side by side against the field, then you can turn this off. Unfortunately, it's at user level, so it's tucked inside of the user profile. So if I go into my profile here, click on the edit button, then go to the Advanced tab, then I can change the field name placement to above the field value. Now when I save, I'll go back to an account, and here you can see it no longer cuts off the label for the field name, and it's actually my preference to be able to see it like this, but I do like the pill design to see the empty fields. Now, if I set the setting back to beside the field value, one of the things that you'll notice is inside of Studio, if ever you've designed a layout whereby you have an empty space towards the right-hand side, I'll give you an example here inside of Leads. So let's go into the Leads layout and into the record view. And in some cases, you'll have an empty filler space beside a field. Let's imagine that we move the do not call field out of the way, and so we have this kind of layout where we've got an empty space beside one of the fields on the view. Let's save and deploy that and open a lead in a separate module. So what you'll see I have here is the studio designed layout here on the left and the record view for the lead module here on the right hand side. And where in the design we'd had title and mobile side by side, they're both here, and website and a blank filler space to the right of it, you'll see that SugarCRM has somehow shuffled up the fields so that account name has now taken the place of that empty space, just in a bid to condense the layout, to ensure that you're not wasting valuable space on the layout. Now, if you really do need to have it in such a way that website has its own row and account name and business center name share the same row, then what you do need to do is just expand these two fields. Then we'll do a save and deploy, refresh the lead record, and you'll see the structure of having the account name and business center on the same row has been retained. Another really nice update that I like to the UI is to do with the way that we preview records. So in previous editions of Sugar, you'd preview these records and it would display the list of fields as they would appear on the record view. But sometimes the record view is purposefully made as being that detailed view that you have of a record, And when you're previewing records, you may have a specific use case for previewing them and seeing fields displayed in a certain order. So in this update, what we can do now is change the display in the preview. So again, I'll go into Leads, into Layouts, and over to this new option here, which is the Preview View. And here you can see you're able to completely modify the way that fields are presented inside of that preview pane. And finally, the last UI update, which is kind of a feature update as well, is SugarCRM has now brought the tile view into the Leads module. So if I click here on the tile view, I can now see my leads in kind of like a Kanban view, and you're able to drag and drop records to increase or decrease or change their status. You can modify this view if you go over to Admin, and let's search for tile. So we've got tile view settings here. We can select the modules that have this enabled. And for example, in the Leads module, the table header at the moment is set to status. We could change it to any one of these fields here as well, and even hide certain values. So if we don't need to see leads that are recycled or dead inside of that view, we can drag them into the hidden values box. There's a few other options here as well. But that's really cool, bringing that into the Leads module. There's a big list of updates when upgrading to Sugar 10, of which I'll include a link to this page. But it's well worth going through to see all of the enhancements that's been made for Sugar 10. Thanks for watching this quick update video. See you next time.